All right, I need you to write me a movie.
Okay, we can do that.
Great. Do it.
You need to tell us what you want first.
What? Why would I do that?
Because you want the movie.
No, I don't.
You just asked us to write one.
Yeah, but now I don't, which means I always haven't.
That doesn't make any sense.
What? Yes, it does. It makes a lot of sense. Voice of reason is what they call me in my house. Of course, I also do most of the yelling and the beatings in my house, so...
Bro, you alright?
I don't know. I've been working long hours, stuck in the office all day, and the HVAC system is broken.
Oh, sounds awful.
Yeah.
I know. My doctor has me sitting in front of this special light because I don't get enough sun.
Weird.
Hey, what kind of light is it?
The light is UltraViolet!
They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? The only podcast to do the same thing twice and expect no one to ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time, joined by my co-host, Skylar.
That's me.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing great now, actually.
Cool.
I kind of like this movie, so I'm doing good. I liked it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I like this
that's
movie.
All right.
That doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot of problems, but I like
Okay,
it.
all right. We're also joined by J Delta. What it is?
Oh, man, I think I caught some of that hemophagia.
Hemophilia?
Yeah. I have some kind of blood disorder.
Yeah.
Where all the blood tries to leave my body because I cut my wrist watching this movie.
Oh, all right. Come on.
No, let's not joke
right.
about serious stuff. Yeah, we don't want to joke about
Right,
serious topics like having to watch this movie.
Yeah, his kid's listening. So we watched UltraViolet, the action sci-fi released March 3rd, 2006. This film was not lost in translation. Bulgaria called it Ultrawave. Okay, I lied. It was lost in translation.
Right, yeah,
because
well.
India called it Supergirl 4.
Yeah.
Fourth installment?
Fourth installment, yeah. To be fair, I'm almost positive that anytime a woman
I was gonna say that.
exudes superhuman powers in a film,
Supergirl.
Supergirl. This is the fourth time they allowed that in their country.
I wonder if the third one was...
Eon Flux.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, man. Well, I guess it is a sequel then. Okay.
And then I'm sure 1 and 2 were, like Fifth Element and...
That's just all.
Yeah.
Oh, great. All right,
Supergirl.
so let's do some budget stuff. Scal, you want to take care of that?
The budget. Production budget, they had $30 million. But domestic, they made 18.5, about 59% of it. Foreign was 12.5, 40%. And worldwide, they made $31 million.
They made it back.
So they just...
I mean,
It wasn't
they
a
probably
waste.
didn't,
Yeah,
though,
they probably
because
lost
that's production
marketing.
budget is, and that doesn't cover, what do you call it, advertisement and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So they lost a lot of money on that, because realistically they made $1.1 million. That's not a lot of money for a movie.
No. Yeah, for Hollywood,
It's a lot of money for me.
Yeah.
But I one guy didn't make this movie,
Yeah.
so. Okay, so the last episode I talked about how the movies apparently have rankings based on how much they make. So this film in the action heroine genre was 60th.
Oh, boy.
In the future near setting, it was 54th.
Future, near.
Yeah, oh, yeah, dash near. Sci-fi chase films, it was 33rd. And based on future chaos... based on future chase films, this was the 6th highest grossing film. With
Out of, 8? That's a very specific...
out of 6.
Out of 6.
Yeah, out of 6. Yeah. It was in this order. Fifth Element was the highest grossing.
Yeah.
Followed by The Island, Aeon Flux, which we saw, Babylon AD, then Johnny Mnemonic, which we also saw a while ago, and then UltraViolet.
Where's Mad Max on this list?
That's not a future chase.
Whoa, yeah, it's future, right?
Post-apocalyptic. I think
guess
that's its own category.
Maybe I
probably.
misread the website and they just randomly decided to pit these 6 movies together. That seems weird, though. I would feel like Mad Max would be like apocalyptic chase.
Yeah, but the apocalypse that happened in the future, or does it only count if it's like, oh, everything's still working in the future?
Yeah, I guess.
There wasn't really a showdown between 2 people.
No, this is chase, not showdown.
Future chase.
Future chase, not
Oh,
future
but-
showdown.
It says showdown, future chase.
Well, maybe it's a showdown between these 6 films.
Yeah.
then. All right, whatever. Who cares about any of that crap? Let's go to the best hour.
Our favorite hour?
Yes! The Troy McClure Hour. Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You'll recognize me from such Christian cinematic adventures as My Son, My Ghost, and Me, Learning How to Treat Others, or Super Cat Pope versus Snake Doctor 79.
Oh, that's the fucking best.
It certainly was. So, let's talk about all these co-stars, if you will. Sebastian Andrew plays Navarra. That's the head vampire guy.
Okay.
I never learned his name
Oh,
in this movie.
the Jack White.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not really, but yeah.
No.
Jack
He's
White,
wearing all
But
white.
he dyed his hair the wrong color.
I don't remember what his haircut was.
Blonde.
Was it blonde?
Yeah, it wasn't
Really?
black.
I thought it was black.
Yeah, I thought it was black too.
No, that was Eon. No, not Eon Flux. UltraViolet. That was the other one. And
Well,
then
no,
also,
Ultraviolet's was violet.
And then also
And
red
then also
and
black,
black
yeah.
and blonde, because she changed it every hour. You will recognize him as the young man who looks at Sylvia in Look at Me, or you will not recognize him from acting, because that's all he's done. Also, that's a French movie. I had to translate that from French, so I'm presuming that's correct.
Is he like the titular, like, look at me? Like, it's him. Like, you, look at me.
I have to
And he goes,
presume the film
"Ah."
ends with him looking at her and her going, yay! And then, you look at me! Like, I presume that's the whole film.
Resolved.
Yeah!
Finn.
Scene!
The only podcast that develops the plot of the movie solely based on the title.
Yeah. That's gotta be what happens.
Yeah.
All right, and the last guy I'm going to mention is William Fitchner, who plays Garth. You'll recognize him in Armageddon, The Dark Knight, Independence Day Resurgence, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2014,
Yeah.
Crash, or Drive Angry.
Yeah. He's the guy who's in everything, but never as the starring guy.
Sure, yeah.
He's always like, oh yeah, you.
I mean, there's a lot of those, but yeah,
no,
he's
but he's one of those guys where it's like, well, he's always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
In Independence Day, he was the general guy, right? That's what I'm remembering. him
Yes,
as,
he was like one of the generals in Armageddon. He was like, you know, Dirk Strange, King Astronaut, like the commander.
Oh, okay. I know in The Dark Knight he played the bank manager in the opening Joker heist.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, you can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com. Let's start this alleged film.
Yeah, alleged.
The film opens on comic book style art being shown behind credits for 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Until we hear, hello, my name is Violet, and I live in a world you may not understand. Holy shit, were they right?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's cute. No, they were warning the fuck out of us. We go to what we eventually learn is a blood bank of some type, when suddenly ninjas attack!
Not just ninjas. Bowling ball ninjas dropped out of a bomber.
Yeah, that's what happened. They kick in doors and touch scientists with their swords, and they die.
Yeah.
There's no blood in this film at all.
I mean, we're already going to get to it,
Yeah.
that this is the same movie as Eon Flux.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I made the joke, like, yeah, Eon Flux. You just go down and go, my squad. Like, holy shit. If I'd have fucking seen this movie first, I'd have thought all those men in Eon Flux were war heroes.
Presidents, goddammit. Oh man. So yeah, inside this giant facility, there are giant vats of red, And the ninja guys kind of look around for a few seconds, and then the army shows up and just shoots them to death.
Got 'em.
They're dead.
Yeah.
So this whole movie is their death hallucination?
Like a combined, like, joint.
It could be someone else's later on, including the main characters.
Yeah.
And every other character involved in this film.
No, I like the idea of the shared death hallucination.
Okay. It's a like Heaven's Gate style death hallucination. They all drink the Kool-Aid and
Yeah,
just
well,
collectively think they're going. So after the army shoots them dead, the men check the ninjas' teeth and find that they're fangs, which means they're hemophages. And one of them cuts his fingers on their teeth, so immediately he's shot dead. Because nope,
Oh,
Jesus.
shit, I'm sorry, Gary. That sucks. Blam.
gone.
He did like the doctor. My God, it was so dramatic. But his face was stone.
Yeah,
Everyone's face was stone.
Like, I mean, you see it in zombie movies and zombie shows and shit. Like, really, you're not even gonna try to like cut the dude's arm off and see if we can.
No, it's
Nope, it's instant. Sorry.
oh well. So we get a monologue with clips of UltraViolet like referencing whatever she's talking about, pretty much, which is just a science lab accidentally makes a vampire disease instead of a super soldier disease. It got out, then things got like Nazi bad, and she lost her husband and her baby when she contracted the disease, but formed a resistance and fought back. Now we are in Blood Wars! Yeah. They the video clips show you that the scientist cut his hand and put it in his pocket. That's how the disease got out. Like, oh, let's not tell anybody about this cut I just got. And she didn't like lose her husband. Like her husband was like, "Oh my God, you have the disease. I'm out of here." No, he was attacked by a vampire, and then a cop showed up and killed the vampire. And I'm gonna presume the husband.
Was that in the movie?
Yeah, it wasn't mine.
Was it the same? Why'd they use a different actress
What do you mean?
for that?
Oh, for the
scene?
flashback?
Yeah.
I got no clue.
Oh, I didn't.
They apparently
You didn't get any of
reconstructed
my
her
movie.
face after for some reason. I don't know why.
it's
They didn't
really
explain that. I'm
weird.
assuming because
Oh, I
it's a
didn't
completely
have
different
any.
face.
Okay, so there is like we have videos up on the screen now. There is a theatrical version and an unrated version of the film. And
Oh.
because of that, there's differences in running time.
Oh.
So, yeah, you can see like some of the scenes are a little longer, like some are shot in slow motion and some aren't. In some, there are extended plots and alternate scenes,
So I don't know what I
but
watched.
you don't learn a lot from that. Like, it's like they extended this scene, they extended that scene.
They literally just extended them by slowing them down.
Yeah, like, and some of them it's different. Like in the movie here, you see the Nazi armbands. Is that what you saw in your version, or did you see the?
I don't remember seeing Nazi armbands.
I saw neither.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
I'm
remember
not
seeing
even.
that stuff.
you know, you know this monologue I'm talking about, right? Did you get this in your version?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just clip, 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 clip.
Maybe my brain just shut down.
All right,
like,
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So whatever. Okay, yeah. There's. I'm just letting you know. There's differences in the film. So if anything we're talking about, see, in I don't know if you saw. This is the cop that shot him.
Nope.
This is in the extended version. You can see his face more clearly. In the theatrical version, he's kind of in the background. You don't really see him too well, but
I
you can
don't
still
remember.
see him.
I don't remember seeing anyone getting shot.
No, it was just clear. It was all like, see,
You see, my problem is I hate when they tell you backstory and the
Yeah.
plot while showing you more things that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I'm trying to listen to them and I'm trying to watch, and so I'm only doing like so much at a time, and you don't really get to absorb everything you need to.
Yeah, well, a lot of the extension was just in the opening when she talks about who she was and what happened, and they show more of the like experiments on her, like they took her skin and
see,
like
that's not her face.
yeah,
That's a completely different actress.
yeah.
Just so you know, the version I saw had no flashbacks.
Interesting.
So what happened during this monologue then?
How
'Cause
long
that
was your movie?
This is what this was.
The movie was like an hour and I don't know, 18 minutes or something.
Whoa, mine was an hour and 35.
Oh yeah.
I want to say mine was an hour and 27.
Well, the actual movie's probably 27 with
Okay.
the ending credits, because
Oh
the end
yeah,
it's-
yeah, that's true.
the
Okay, so
timestamp
mine
was-
probably was 35, then
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, mine goes like straight into the action. It's like the monologuing, bowling ball ninjas, and then it cuts to her as the courier.
Really?
Straight up, like, yeah.
Interesting. All action.
Because in my version, I have this monologue where it shows this backstory explanation about how she lost her husband and all that stuff, and then she formed a resistance.
He might have seen the theatrical version because
maybe.
there was a cutting of this whole movie up for the theater. The director or producers, I think it was producers or whatever, executives or whatever, they didn't like the whole movie when they watched it. They thought it was too emotional. They were like, we want an action film.
Yeah.
So that's why he probably just got all the action stuff.
But that was before. That's what I read was before. Look, next after the monologue, they go to Vice Cardinal Ferdinand Daxus, leader of the militant medical establishment known as the Arch Ministry.
Should I remember all that?
No.
Is there a way to shorten that down?
They're walking into his office, and he says that vampire terrorist attacks are at their highest.
Yep.
But just because, but they're close to wiping them out forever because they worked with the Laboratory for Latter-day Defense to make a weapon to locate and kill every vampire in a matter of days, and the courier is delivering it now.
Yeah, that sounds rightish.
Yeah, that's what you had in your film?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I guess there was a monologue that you either didn't remember.
Now, you keep calling them vampires.
They're called hemophages.
But they do use the word vampire later.
But they're not sucking anyone's blood.
That's true. They're not.
They're not. They have the fangs for some reason.
Yeah, it's not vampirism. It's not vampires. Because it's a disease, and like you find out later that patient 0 got like the most of the disease, so he's the strongest one, and other people just got like it splattered on them, so they only kind of have like they're like lesser vampires. Like they have strength, but they're only kind of like damaged by sun.
They can see at night.
Yeah, but not really great, or like it's just. Yeah, it's really fun.
And it kills them in 13 days or whatever.
12 years.
Or 12 years, whatever it was.
13
days, 12 years.
I couldn't. Yeah. The whole film, she's like, I'm dying. And then she gets up and fights 160,000 guys. And then it's like...
she's like injecting herself with something the whole time.
Again.
I don't know what. But...
Oh, I thought the injection was something to disguise her blood to make her seem...
I feel like she was still taking it, though, throughout the movie. Why would she
get
do that?
high off it?
Yeah.
She was just
that's
embarrassed
what I
by
thought,
it? Because she didn't have the fangs. I don't know.
She did at the end of the film. That's why I thought it was like a suppressant of some sort.
Maybe it's like the Santa Claus. Like, she keeps following them down, and then they just keep throwing back.
Yeah, but only during Christmas time.
And only because she knocked some dude off the roof.
Yeah.
She knocked Dracula off the roof.
She was cleaning a chimney, and Dracula fell down and landed on his head. It was during Halloween time. You know how it is. She was like, who is this guy? And he pulled the card out of the pocket, and it turned into a bat and flew away. And, she was like, oh, I'm fucking Lady Dracula, all right.
But first she goes through that period where she denies it.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's the whole, like, denial, acceptance, bargaining, like, whatever that whole 5 stages of grief are. Yeah. So, where are we? Oh, she shows up to the outside of the building. They check if she's a vampire. It passes. She goes inside. And, like, it's just... The whole film, I'm just going, dude, I made this whole film when I was 14. Like, there's just, like, biohazard symbols and, like, radioactive symbols, like, everywhere. It's
everywhere. The whole building is shaped like a radioactive symbol.
Yeah,
or biohazard, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one of them.
How much money went into designing a building? Like, the government spent all this money designing a building specifically shaped like a biohazard symbol. There's nothing discreet about that. Like, that's not a top secret laboratory. Everyone goes, oh, there's the experiments. That's where all the top secret stuff is.
What is the floor plan of that building?
Oh my god.
Imagine, like, there's only one, like, there's designated exits in a specific area, and you have an office, like, at the tip of one of them, and you gotta go to the whole, like, every day.
Yeah, but that like tip office is probably pretty nice, right? I mean,
what
got
are
one wall and 2 giant windows.
Or it's very small.
Like a
Oh,
closet.
yeah.
Oh, those poor janitors. They gotta go all the way to the tip to get their brooms.
That's the cleaning strategy. You gotta start at one end.
Oh,
All right, actually, I want to rewind a little bit because
oh, jeez.
here's one point that I was confused at. So at the beginning, the bowling ball ninjas get bombed out of bombers, right?
Sure.
But then it
I don't even remember the bombers part, but I remember them dropping out of the sky.
Yeah, after they drop out, then like she starts monologuing and it zooms out and there's literally like a fleet of planes circling
Oh my
the
god.
building.
Disguised.
So I didn't understand whose planes were they. I assume the government's, but that's where the ninjas came from.
Like, how do vampires have planes? That is a great. Which airport does the vampire community control? That's what I need to know. What? You go to LaGuardia? That's the vampire airport.
Oh, but that means if you have a day flight, you just go right through. It's great.
Or you just die.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. That's true.
or maybe you don't. I don't understand how this
Is
works.
it
at
run
all.
by vampires as well? There's no one just working in the
I don't know,
daytime?
Yeah. Do they hire only vampires? Is that discrimination or?
They can never go
It's just like a
west. They can only follow the sun. Or excuse me, east. They can only follow the sun.
Oh, like they gotta
Yeah, they have
run
to-
from
the
the
sun.
the
Yeah, they
rising
can only
sun.
fly.
the,
Yeah.
whole, the whole company?
Yeah, like you're in yeah, the whole company. Like you're in California and you want to go to Nevada. It's a 2-day trip. You gotta go all the way around the earth
Oh,
to get
jeez.
back.
I mean, sure,
Stay
you
in the
could land
shadow.
and like hide from the sun, but no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, yeah,
We'll
it's
just fly
pretty-
all the way around the world.
I mean, hats, guys, just hats. So, did you guys notice that, like, throughout the whole film, they used a very subtle amount of CGI on everyone's face?
Subtle.
Well,
I
Subtle,
yeah,
dude.
maybe that's subtle,
There was,
yeah.
I was gonna say there was like a filter that made everything look like washed out, super high
Okay,
contrast.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. I didn't know if that was just my version or.
Dude. It was bad. That's what I'm saying. It was bad. Yeah, her face was glowing the whole time.
Yeah, okay. And then, like, they also like crushed all the blacks, so all the blacks were like super, super dark.
I think that might have been the version. I think that might have been the version.
Oh,
we
okay,
had.
yeah, maybe that was just the version.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about colors or?
Oh my god.
I'm very confused by what he said.
Well, it was like everything's very high contrast.
Yeah.
So like when she changed her hair to black, like it was just her face popping out of like a shadow that was her body.
Yeah, it did feel like that. Absolutely. So, what do we got here? Oh, she goes inside the building, and they do more experiments to make sure that she's not a vampire. They do like the Clockwork Orange, hold the eyelid open.
And they poke her in the eye.
They poke her in the eye. But did you look at it? They didn't. They CGI'd like the clamps
Yeah.
on the eyelids. And not like in the eyelids to like hold them
Oh,
down and
yeah.
open. They were just on top of them and like push, like just dragging her face down. And then they hold her mouth open.
But don't do anything.
No,
They show you at the end they put a bunch of stuff in her mouth, but they don't show you them. So it's just her with her face agape going, this is a little sexual in a way that I am not comfortable with.
my favorite part about it was when she approached the chair. She was eyeballing it. She's like, something's gonna happen with the chair, and I thought the same thing. And I'm like, it's gonna come around her and trap her. It's gonna get her legs or something. I'm like, just be prepared. And she sits down. And she puts her arms down, and it cuffs her thumbs.
And she's trapped forever.
And I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. So
And her reaction, she's like, oh.
my thumbs. I can't move.
And they fucking drain her of like a gallon of blood.
Yeah.
And decorate the floor with it.
And they're like, well, if you were a hemophage, we'd have detected cellular repair at the microcellular
Yeah.
level already.
We would have seen you started healing already. I'm like, then why are you still
So-
sucking blood out of her?
This is definitely for fun. Like, oh, so yeah, inside this area, she biohazard symbols, and she gets debriefed about not anything really. We don't learn anything in the debriefing. Then they walk down a hallway that's shaped like the radiation symbol or the ionizing radiation symbol,
She's-
and
Why is her clothes always
they
changing?
change colors.
Dude.
It's not explained. Is that
Like it seems chameleon-esque, but then other times it's definitely not.
is
like,
it like the carrier's uniform? Because
Just
I
changes?
feel like only one other person's uniform, or at least their clothing, did that.
I guess. Again, questions this movie should have answered, and we shouldn't have to guess.
I really like that she's going through this hallway. She's getting the briefing from them.
Yeah.
It was like, so do you know what type of thing you're carrying? She's like, no, I have no idea. She's like, good, we wanted it that way so you don't know. But I'm going to tell you for plot reasons.
Dude,
We feel like it might help you. I was like, wait, so this is like the top secret ultimate government project and you're just hiring like motorcycle FedEx to
yeah.
like, oh yeah, we have like a whole armored convoy as a diversion. You can't have your own like trusted employee.
What are we? 10? If that minutes in?
Yeah.
And the logic of this film just shits all over itself every chance it gets.
This
and
is
it,
this. Go
it
ahead.
doesn't stop. It doesn't. It gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Super top secret government project, but you're the delivery man, so I'll let you in on a secret.
So she goes into like this special guarded like antechamber with the whatever she's supposed to have or deliver, and the guy like makes her sign in blood again. We get it, blood. And he so stupid. He hands her the package, and she grabs it, and he holds on to it like he's Trump giving a handshake.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Are you functional?" And I'm gonna go, What? What weird like code phrase thing just happened?
That's what I thought was happening when she first walked in. Because what was the first question he asked her? It was like, how are you feeling, or how is everything all right with your stay? He said something to her, and she responded with, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about." And he was like, and started pushing buttons, and the door started closing, and she was getting nervous. I was like, oh, she didn't say the right like phrase or something. And then he's asked the same question again.
Yeah, like it must.
Are
have
you?
been
I think it's what you said. Actually,
Are you functional?
Are
Yeah,
you sure you're functional?
I wrote that down because I was like, I can't even infer anything from that.
Yeah,
that is
there's
100% a code phrase that they never explain is a code phrase that we're. I guess we're supposed to just recognize, but it's I don't.
And she was like, I don't. She actually said it. I have 100%. I have no idea what you're
I
talking
don't
about.
know what you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
he goes,
This wasn't in the script.
yeah. He just snorts his nose and goes, all right, sign.
Yeah, okay, fine, here it is. So it wasn't a code phrase,
It
I
wasn't,
guess.
no.
So, like,
He's just weird. He's just really awkward
Yeah.
around people. He doesn't know how to talk.
he's that fucking stalker that just won't leave the girl alone. But also, he's so dumb he doesn't know which girl he's stalking. Because he can't recognize her.
Or he's just like that high-level security guard who's just always fucking with people. He's just, so what's the secret passphrase? Nobody gave me a secret passphrase. But really, what's the secret passphrase? Oh, you want me to touch your dick?
All right, so the real XICG-88 or whatever her name is shows up outside, and UltraViolet is exposed, and she has to fight her way out, and she does.
The man's face when he finds out is priceless. Like, it's the worst face I've ever seen. Then he gets stabbed and dies in silence.
Yeah, everything's in like silence as like the music just overshadows
Okay,
it.
I thought it was just him. I thought he just lost the voice.
No, like it's just they tone down all the actor audio and pump up all the sound, just all the music. Then she kicks. Why do the guards have glass armor?
It's bulletproof glass.
But not kick-proof.
No,
or
she's
bulletproof because she
she's-
also shot them.
She's superhuman strength, super vampire strength.
I mean, look, if you're a guard
Yeah.
and like you want to make sure it looks like you're going down on one hit, wear glass, right? You get punched and you shatter and you just go, bah! Like
That's it. They're all
Well,
just
yeah.
lazy guards.
Yeah.
When I first watched it, I was like, wow, they're literally made of glass, all these guards.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I mean it's just like an outer layer over their full body armor, and she's just like punching and kicking, and they're just like, fucking workers' comp.
Yeah.
Not supposed to work if the glass is broken.
Yeah.
So yeah, she.
Oh, speaking
gets
of
out.
glass,
Oh, what?
the person who was walking with her during that radioactive hallway,
Yeah.
he had that weird faceplate thing that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they should have like people at Subway and Chipotle have those faceplate masks. It was like a perfect, like it looked like a sneeze plate, but it was just perfectly over his face.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they need that in the food industry.
Yeah, really? I don't think I
Yeah,
have included.
exactly.
Whoa, hold on.
That
I
shit
got some
exists.
patent to file.
Yeah. After you get Brad Pitt's phone number, I gotta. Well, we still gotta tell him about Pitt and the Pig. We didn't tell him in the last episode. Pitt and the Pig. That's a moneymaker.
Pig in the pit.
Pitt and the Pig.
Pig Pitt.
Brad Pitt and the Pig. Brad Pitt, Brad Pig. Pitt and Pig.
Can't.
So, security looks up who she is, and we see all the flashback stuff that we mentioned like an hour ago. And the guards are like, why are you doing this? And she specifically says, I wrote this down, because I hate humans with every fiber of my being, and I'll kill every single one of them almost as quick as they'll try to kill me.
Almost as quick.
Yeah, well, because they don't have the chance, I'll kill them first. That was supposed to be.
All right.
Also,
Yeah.
very confused how they found out who she was.
Security footage. It's the future. Everybody's face imprinted or whatever.
Yeah, but she has a different face.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't.
And she was using different DNA because she, I don't know, they said something. She probably had some sort of a modifier or something.
Amino-suppressant, or I don't know.
And then they go to her just syringing herself. But I just, everything just works out for everyone in this movie.
Yeah.
I just hate humans. Every one of them.
All of them.
Oh,
Dude, there was a human right now. I'd punch him so hard that glass armor would shatter.
So, she escapes the roof and kills more guards, but her gun's just CGI, so she just looks dumb as shit.
Oh my god. And all the guards are just like, oh, she's got a gun. I know, I got a gun. I'll charge at her and hit her with it.
Yeah.
oh, that is, yeah.
Dude.
There's like 30 guards, and they're about probably 30 yards away, and all of them sprinting with just guns in their hands.
Look, right at the beginning of the movie, the bowling ball ninjas come rolling in, get surrounded by guards. The guards are a couple feet away, and then boom, gun them all down.
Done.
Those are the only competent guards in the entire place. Every other guard is like, well, a gun don't really work unless you fire it point blank.
Well, that was a trap. They don't work good on their feet.
And even then, even point blank, there's a point, all the shenanigans where they surround her, and they all have the gun right at her head.
Yeah. Still doesn't work point blank.
Yeah.
She pulls a sword out and cuts them all up.
Yeah.
And she drives her bike away. She calls whatever his name is, Nervosa? The guy that I thought was blonde, but there's a picture of him right there, and his hair is clearly black. It's right there. I'm very wrong about that.
Nevers.
Yeah, whatever. That guy, the leader vampire guy. She calls him, and he's like, "Yo, either deliver it or destroy." Which I don't know where. It seemed like she was supposed to deliver it to a third location. Like, it seemed like she was never supposed to bring it back to him. Was that just the way I was reading it, or?
I think they wanted to intercept it, so probably the delivery point was to him.
Yeah, but then when she brings it to him, he's like, what'd you do that for?
Yeah!
Oh, really?
He's like, you should have destroyed it. Like, I was like, it doesn't, again, it doesn't make any sense. He goes, don't look inside the case. If you're compromised, destroy it immediately. Just move on. The reason he says that is because...
I don't understand that.
What?
Deliver it to be destroyed, and if you can't, destroy it yourself.
Why are you...
Also, really, nobody's gonna lock this super secure briefcase? There's no lock on it?
No, it's just a little latch.
You just,
Push the button, yeah, and it just
not
opens.
even one of those, like, wheelie...
No DNA print, nothing.
Not even one of those briefcases, like 3, 4, 6.
Yeah, why not? So, I don't think we mentioned it, but she has this anti-gravity device that she used to jump on the ceiling when she shot her way out.
Oh, yeah, her paramorpher.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, because that shit happened, and I was like, yo, this is fucking powerful. It did the whole, like, morphin' time. Like, zoom in on
Terrible 90s computer graphics.
Yeah.
3, 3, 5. Woo! Anti-gravity mode.
And it zooms in on the sun on the inside.
And it had, like, multicolored lightning bolts, pink, yellow, orange, like, specific red.
Whatever. So she's got one on her bike, too, and she enables it and rides up a building, and 2 helicopters fly up after her, and, like, next to her. Helicopters don't fucking work that way. I'll say that shit right now.
What are you talking about? They don't work that way. They were flying normally. She was on the side of a building.
Yeah, but then they would stop. Just immediately on a dime.
Good brakes.
They got, like, yeah, air brakes, you know.
Alright, but if she turned the gravity so she could go sideways, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then she was driving on a building.
Yeah.
She was also jumping off of cars and trucks to get onto the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she lands on a building, on a window.
Yeah.
Shouldn't she just like, well,
Oh my fucking roof.
in fact, the first time she uses a gravity thing, she's in vents and she uses it to like jump, but jump up, and she like
Instead of- yeah.
flies up to the ceiling. Like, shouldn't she have just gone ah? And, like,
fucking Wonka Vader style.
yeah, I mean, really,
Turned it off.
Yeah, but she didn't. She was just like, here I go. Ah! It's just like boom, out of space,
Yeah.
like gone.
Oh man, why? Like why don't you just use that to fly? Turn it off, go way high up, and then just kind of glide down and turn it back on again before you crash. And
That's the most complicated way to fly.
Just reverse gravity.
no, why don't you just get a bunch of super less dense wood and a engine and put that shit together and learn about aerodynamic magic, then?
But I mean, really, if she had one of those like wingsuits, that would be pretty. I'd fly like that,
You can get some distance.
Yeah.
right? You fucking what? Fall up in the sky, reverse. Whee!
You know what I just fucking said? How did you disagree with me and then go, but if I think of that thing, I think it's okay?
You're just a falling person,
It'd be
though.
fun.
He's got a glide suit.
Yeah, it's the wingsuit that makes a difference.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't point out every qualification of that.
You're trying to come down like a jetpack.
Oh,
He's
okay.
gliding.
Also, like I got really soft shoes on, so when I land, my feet don't hurt. Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
His is better now.
No, I got those wheelie shoes, so when I land, I just like woo, slide right into
Ooh,
it.
and really catch the
That,
momentum.
but a Slurpee. I got a Slurpee too.
Ooh.
And I say radical.
Ooh, marketable too.
Ooh, these grav belts, they're so bad.
Exactly. So whatever. She's clear. Actually, no, she's not clear. I have to mention that the helicopter's run out of bullets, so she runs not like through the helicopters, inside the doors of the
Oh, that's
helicopters.
great.
Shoots
She's-
them all dead,
yeah.
and then
She runs away from the helicopters. They run out of bullets, and then she turns and stares at them for like 30 seconds. It feels
my
like.
God, it was so
And
retarded.
then she squints, and they go, "Shit!" And they immediately know they're fucked or whatever. They reload, and then she jumps
Yeah,
in.
she
She
jumps-
shoots them all.
Exactly.
So they don't have a pilot, so that the helicopters panic, of course, and they explode.
But everyone's dead anyway, so it wouldn't matter. Yeah,
But I still don't know why they explode.
because they had no pilots and they just crashed towards each other. They just crashed. They just kind of, you know, like how like objects kind of gravitate towards each other when you're mixing things up. Yeah, well, that's what happens.
It exploded immediately when she left.
Yeah. All right, whatever. So she's clear. She does this like 90s MTV style liquid CGI phone call with a guy like bubbles up into a being. And he's like, bring that shit to the needle in Shinwago, which I just presumed that's how he pronounced Seattle. But I think they filmed some of this in China, so it might have been a province in China.
Yeah,
In the needle, on the elevator ride up, Violet decides to look in the case.
of course.
Because I'm fucking 3 minutes away from completing my job. Why not compromise the whole thing right now?
When you tell someone, all right, no matter what, don't look in the case. I don't. You can destroy it. You can bring it here, but just don't look in it. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
To be fair, this was the first opportunity she had since she got it that she wasn't getting shot at or being chased. So she
Whatever.
probably planned on it immediately. Like, oh, I'm looking at this.
All right, so it's a human child, and she is literally floored.
Well, it's a human torso. We can assume so far.
Well, no, it uses compression magic.
I don't know. She opens it. I just see a child's head, torso, and arms, and then she closes it. And there's not enough room because it's about the size of like a violin case.
Not enough room. The briefcase is like 1.5 inches thick. Of course, there's not enough room.
Yeah. How thick do you think a head is? Honestly.
It's just the front slice of a child's torso.
This thing's getting gruesome again. What happened? What happened? All right, so she gives the case to the leader guy, and she's like, it's a child. And he's like, oh, it's a weapon and a child. Now we're going to kill him. Okay, fine. Because in his blood, there's a disease that can wipe out all the vampires. So, you gotta.
Well, then we got it.
Immediately, I'm like, what's that old argument? Would you kill Hitler's baby? Like, I don't know if I could do it.
Oh, they threw in one of those things hard.
Oh, wait. That's
What
not
does
it.
Hitler's baby have to do with anything?
Would you kill baby Hitler? That's the one. Sorry. Whoops.
Would you kill Hitler's baby? Yeah, you would. Oh shit, that's what pissed him off.
Oh, man.
You're the one who started it all. It's a Twilight Zone episode.
I was going to spend my days raising a child, but without one, the Jews. I just don't. So yeah, no, but not Eon Flux. What's her name? UltraViolet is like you can't kill a child.
He was like, well, if it's gonna stop everything, it's really just a choice. And she was like, it's a child. And I was like, oh, I see what they're going for there.
I brought this up on the podcast before. That's solid logic. It's not a choice. It's a child. Abort it. You don't have a choice. You gotta abort a child.
There's no choice involved.
You paying for that child? I'm not.
No, abort it. All right, so she apparently used hollow projection and made it seem like the kid was still in the briefcase when he wasn't. Also, she used her anti-gravity machine to, I guess, like, just blow up the room or whatever. I don't know. Make him dizzy. Anyway, she leaves and grabs the human child who was hiding in a corridor and says to the child, don't overthink it. It just turns out I was right.
And the kid goes, "Buh."
No,
he
doesn't
watching.
make any audible sound.
No, he doesn't.
For like the next 20 minutes.
Pretty sure, yeah, he has Down syndrome or something.
Dude,
He's like
I am under the
fried
belief,
eggs for
I am
brains.
totally under the belief that this is a test tube baby who has been alive for 10 seconds right now.
Well, he was safely sleeping into that little
Yeah.
carrier thing, and if you saw her, she was just hucking it around, throwing it. So he
Yeah.
probably has some serious brain damage now.
No, it's definitely just like an empty vessel. Like, oh, the Archbishop Ferdinand was gonna transplant his brain into the baby body. Like, that's
Oh, okay.
clearly.
That was it.
What? I like that plan.
So, Violet goes to the roof and has a standoff with the Asian gang.
Oh, the Asian gang, of course.
Yeah, the one Asian gang that controls the entire top half of the needle.
Well, yeah, that's what they said, right?
Yeah.
He's like, give them anything they want.
They went to the Shinwago province, which means the Shinwago gang is in charge of the needle. That's what they said. Dude.
But just the top half.
Yeah, just the top half of their province. I don't know,
Turns out, white people like to show up to where non-white people live and, say,
Take some shit over.
why don't you live in that little space?
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
to the top
Hey,
floors.
guys, equal rights. Come on. For us whites in your country. So Violet uses her, super hemophage senses to see inside and through, other people's glasses, and then in the reflection of that
She
glasses
can
through
see
other glasses
everybody.
reflection, and, zigzag back and forth 100 times to dodge every bullet. But also, at the same time, the main villain sees the bullet shooting him in the head and goes, "Ah!" So maybe she doesn't have superpowers. Maybe bullets are just really slow in the future.
And this badass Asian gang who controls the entire top floor of their whole country.
Yeah.
Their strategy is just run around in a circle and fire your guns.
Oh, dude.
Well, they all just surround her in a circle for some reason.
Yeah.
And just all point their guns and start firing. I don't know how they think it's a good idea. And they're all just going to hit her and nothing's going to go wrong beyond that.
She's really skinny. Those bullets are definitely going through her. I don't care how little of a millimeter you use. They're ripping through her. Use a .22. Shotgun on the other side.
Then, okay, oops, well, bad guy A shot our gang leader. Well, I don't want that to happen, so I'll just run. That way, the guy across from me doesn't shoot me because I'll be running away. And everyone just runs in a circle around her. Blam, blam, blam. And she just,
Yeah, she doesn't move from where she's standing. She just ducks and dodges and bends and then at the end, 5 guys shoot each other in the face at the same time, despite there being an odd number of people.
And to your theory,
5 guys, which means they shot themselves in a star pattern.
Interesting.
everyone shot to their right.
Even though she was in the middle.
Well, look, if we're shooting at her and she's dodging it, shoot not at her and she can't dodge
That's it. I got it. I shoot her, you die. If I shoot at you, she'll die. Boom. Oh, shit. All right, I shoot at me, and then she'll die.
It all just...
Yeah. All right, so they're all dead, and she's like, okay, cool. Where'd that kid go? He's on the ledge of a building.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I like this kid already. And she's all like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Can you help me? Help me! Help me! Get off the ledge! Why would you do that?
Violate trust immediately.
Yeah. So they run down to the streets, and the army shoots at them because they are everywhere. They hide in a car, but fucking Archduke Ferdinand shows up, or whatever his name is, and says, give me the boy, he's my kid. And she's like, no, you're full of shit, and drives away.
Runs over everyone.
Yeah, she backs up immediately over 10 guards.
Yeah. She goes to a subway car. Where have I seen that before?
Oh, man.
Jeez.
I had no idea. As soon as she runs over all those guys, I lost it because she's like, cover your ears. Cover your ears! And mushes the kid in the face.
Dude, his
And
neck
then
just snapped.
Open fire on the car.
Yeah, just shoots up the dashboard.
Yeah. I was apparently so when she was done spinning the car around, it would slam into a wall and the door would be thrown and they could exit the car.
I mean, why open the door? What
And
did you
I would
shoot
assume she shot out the airbag so it wouldn't deploy.
She shot through the dashboard to the hinges.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what she did?
Yeah.
I took me...
I thought
Yeah.
she shot out the airbag so it wouldn't go up the
No.
kid's face when they crashed.
It should have, yeah.
Yeah, there's no airbags in the future. Not anymore.
It just, I mean, everybody's a vampire. You just let them die. So in the subway car, Violet asks human child if he's damaged. Literally, are you damaged? Are you damaged?
She also runs into the subway car, firing her gun, and everyone in there's, oh,
Yeah.
and don't worry, we'll go to the next car.
That's fine, yeah.
That's completely empty.
Which is empty, yeah.
I
Besides
mean,
one person.
you guys are all crammed in here. I'll just go to the empty car next
What did that sleeping guy do to get everybody to leave his car?
to He jerked off.
Well, yeah. That's why Violet didn't want the kid to touch him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, more people! Yeah! Show starting right now, folks! Yeah, da 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 da. So she starts talking to herself about dumb decision making, and then she literally goes, "Park it, mister," which is followed by, "I will kill you." So she's all over the fucking place.
Well, she was yelling at the kid because he has a weird obsession with going up to people and wanting to touch their face.
Yeah, yeah.
That is kind of weird.
I will kill you.
The kid is just not all there.
Yeah. So they go to what I presume is the mall, and at this point I'm like, dude, this is the longest fucking film. It's so goddamn long. I don't even know what's happening, and we're like 35 minutes in. So she calls her friend Garth on the phone, and he's like, my research is too important for this garbage. She speaks to the human child more like an adult, even though he literally looks at his hands like, what are those things? But then uses him to signal 6, which we go, oh, even though I just signaled 7. And to signal that his name is 6. And Violet realizes that she's kind of almost surrounded, so she's like, give me your blood!
When he did that, I was like, oh, he's only 6 years old. I was like, man, that kid looks older than that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's also a little touched. He's actually 8, but, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so she's like, give me your blood or I'll just take it. I'll take your arm or something. She's just threatening a child. And he's like, if I scream, we're both dead. And she's like,
Why? What?
well, then let's just casually walk out this door over here. I don't know why that wasn't an option before, but fine. And she goes, so Daxus doesn't know you can speak, does he? And he shakes his head no. And I'm like, I don't think I know if he can speak right now.
He
so-
stopped. He can't speak anymore.
Yeah, 6 shakes his head no. He doesn't know that I can speak. But he shakes his head in a way like an animal studying like another animal. Like, oh, I can do that too. Like, so I don't know if he knows what's going on or...
Situationally.
Like my kitty cat when I have a toy and
Yeah,
I'm waving
like,
it back
I
and
don't
forth.
understand. Yeah. So but then he exhibits immediate sign of intelligence because she goes, do you know what's happening? He goes, no. She goes, there's a war between humans and hemophages. You're a human and I'm a hemophage. And he tries to just leave.
Oh, shit.
He's like,
We're at war?
Okay, I gotta go. And I'm like, I don't know if this kid's like really smart or really, I don't know what's happening.
As fucking crazy as this movie is, I thought this line was the most insane.
What's that?
Where she's like, okay, let me just tell you what's going on. There's a war between the humans and the hemophages. I'm a hemophage, and you're a human. Let's make a sitcom. Like, this shit was... Come on.
And then she says, oh, but you're the most valuable object on the planet.
Object!
Yeah! So, fuck what Garth said 6 seconds ago. She brings him to Garth.
That's fine. Just...
And they run a bunch of tests on him, and we also see Six's arm, and it's got like a burn from a price scanner on it. It's like that's when he took blood. And
I don't know if that's like their syringe that has like seven syringe
Dude,
marks, or
like a QR code.
or if they were just like, well, we can't take it in the same place, so we'll just do it right next to it, and they just kept doing that.
But
And
in
they're
a
like, "What?"
pattern.
But they just had like
in an
OCD,
X,
or they were
and then
bored.
make a box like inside the X, and then fill in the box, and then make the box larger.
Might as well make your job interesting.
Yeah.
If you're gonna prick a kid with a needle
Hey,
like 19 times, you might as well make it pretty for him.
I mean, if we gotta do experiments on kids in this torture camp, let's smile a little.
Yeah, have a little fun.
I'm giving you another star, little kid.
Just pay attention to my clown nose. So we go back to the needle because apparently the stuff that happened there is still happening. I did not expect this at all. When they went back to that, I was like, so we're just done with Violet forever? And the police are still cleaning out the needle of all the vampires. Because when the Archduke, he was like, go get the rest of the vampires. He was talking about what I really thought were the 4 remaining vampires on Earth are caught in a hallway or whatever by police, and the Archduke is like, kill him, and the lights go out, and then the emergency lights come on, all the guards are dead, and the vampires are still alive. And it's like, oh, and the Archduke is like, I'm just gonna go in this door real quick and leave. He just walks out the room.
Bye.
And he starts having some coffee.
Well, first he pulls out the little wet nap. And
Yeah, because he's
Oh.
a super big germaphobe.
Apparently,
in the office.
he has
when-
custom-made gloves to match his suits.
Yeah, that's true.
His gun is in a plastic bag.
Okay,
His coffee's in a.
not a plastic bag, like a disposable, like fully sealed, like he has to.
Oh yeah,
rip
it
open.
was like a chip bag that had like air in it.
Yeah.
So he has some coffee, and he's like, you think you can kill me? And he puts the gun down and goes to take a sip of coffee, and then
Which is
picks him up. Bam,
filled,
bam, bam.
Okay.
filled to the brim.
Yeah.
Yes, the
The
most
brim.
suspenseful part of this movie is when he lifts up that coffee. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna spill some of that. Like,
And that's when he said it. Try. I was like, oh, he's gonna spill that coffee
yeah.
though.
Oh,
He's gonna make a mess. Germaphobe.
Yeah, so he kills 3 and leaves the leader guy. The
Doesn't.
one I thought was blonde.
Kills them all one by one, and they all make like a ridiculous face.
They do the speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah.
Which one did I say was the director?
Speak no evil.
The speak no evil
The one
phage.
closest to the camera.
Oh.
Yeah. So he leaves the last one alive, and he takes a sip of tea, and he's like, I got a proposition for you. And it's like, We go back to Garth's, and Six and Violet watch fireworks. Six shows Violet an ad for children playing on a playground and asks Violet, where is it? And Violet gives this long, back in my day speech and ends it with, oh, that doesn't exist. And then
Yeah,
Six
what
says,
was that story? She's like, where is this playground? I was like, when I grew up, there used to be an old dirt road, and we used to play down that dirt road, and there was flowers everywhere, and we had a great time.
And I was wearing an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time.
like, if that ended with, and at the Alamo Dome Cactus Jack, you're gonna get a whooping, I would be like, oh, that of course! Best promo ever! Totally swerved me on that one. I love Six. Because without missing a beat, he goes, you're dying. like, I don't know if you know this, but you're dying. Whatever's going on with your personality and your life, you're definitely dying right now. Violet asks, Jesus Christ. She asks Six, do you read? He goes, no. So then she takes her hand up and goes, the index finger is comrade, the middle finger is lover, the ring finger is wife, and the pinky finger is mother, but I lost my baby, so all that became impossible. I'm just like, what?
I wanted to walk away from the film. I didn't understand what just happened. I couldn't figure out. I watched the movie twice. What she said that first time. She said, "Do you know how to read?"
Yeah.
Is that what she asked?
She do not. That's what I said. Read palms,
Oh,
but
palm
she doesn't
reading?
read palms. She
It's
reads
fingers.
the sides of fingers. Like
I thought she was giving her some weird like the piggy story. Like this
Like,
little piggy went to
yeah.
market,
I couldn't. Oh my god.
and then it was just some weird like device to tell the kid, "Yeah, I used to be pregnant, but I
thought it was gonna
lost
be-
it." Like I thought it was.
Maybe it was just like a clever way for her to like flip them off. Like, oh, this was the colonel and this was the major.
That's how she thinks you're supposed to deliver bad news. Like, hey, what time is that show on tonight? 8:00. Okay, all right, cool. And what was dinner last night? We had broccoli. Okay, your mom's dead. And by the way, my shoes are wet. Just trying to slip it in real quick.
Yikes.
Suddenly, Six is asleep, as well he should be. In the lab, Garth is like, did you write this stuff down? She's like, what is that? And apparently it's some giant chemical formula that Six must have written down.
Whatever it means.
But anyway, whatever this random chemical junk that he wrote down is,
I'm sure it'll never come back.
there's no secret vampire virus in his blood.
Nope.
And he's only going to live for 8 hours.
Because he's radioactive.
Yeah.
Or there's some sort of protein destroyer, something.
So, yeah, okay.
He's melting.
Anti-human
Yep.
blood in his
That's
blood.
good.
Made of snow.
Yes.
So he's dying from blood.
Yep, he's got Frosty the Snowman disease.
The Blood Wars!
Yes.
What's this snowman disease?
Yeah, it's
He's
fine.
melting?
He's melting. He lost the magic in his hat. He doesn't have his hat. So now he's melting.
From the Blood Wars.
From the Blood Wars. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make sure I follow that. Outside, Garth's like, why are you doing this? He's just a child. And she's like, no, a human child. And apparently that answers the question.
Oh.
And she takes Six and goes, they're tracking you. We have to leave. And they leave.
But wasn't the whole thing like, well, they can't track you in there?
Yeah.
'cause it's, oh, okay.
So let's leave.
So let's leave.
Yeah, let's go where they can track you.
Later, Violet thinks that maybe
This
they're tracking her on her phone.
mind-boggling.
Uh,
Mind-boggling.
So she changes her phone number every 60 seconds and then gets a disposable phone.
They.
And then
He
Six
get-
is like,
no.
oh,
They're in the lab.
yeah.
Garth tells her there's a tracking device or something inside the child, so they'll be tracking him.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't get it from here. And then they leave. And then she takes out her phone, and it's being, like, tapped or wired, and she gets rid of it. And she goes, they must be following us with my phone. And the child goes, no, they must be tracking me. And I'm like,
We
what?
discussed
Why is this discovered twice within 30
Yes.
seconds?
Dude, okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, at, I don't know, an airport or a mall or I don't know what any place they go to is.
It's a food court, right?
Six, well, no, because they get food from vending machine. Like, I don't even know. Six literally stops Violet and is like, what are we doing? And Violet's just like,
He should have been asking that a lot more in that movie.
she's like, hey, take this credit card and go get food.
She takes her bracelet off
It'll be great.
and tells her to do that because that's apparently her credit card.
Yeah.
It also gave her a new phone. That her bracelet did a lot of things.
Yeah, okay. So she's like, go ahead, go get the food. See you later. And he's like, yeah, I know what you're doing, Violet. Bye.
So I don't understand what her plan was at that point.
Her plan, I think, was to literally just go,
it's not my problem. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just leave it to give it back to the humans.
Yeah, like, I'm just gonna walk away.
Or because they're going to kill it now for some reason. I don't know why, but they're going to gun down the child for some reason.
Yeah.
Because that's what they tried to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know what part of information I'm missing, because who wants the child now?
Nobody.
No, everybody just wants the child dead.
We created the ultimate child. I guess we'll abort it.
Yeah.
We'll just abort it.
My new experiment. It's the child who can't not be wanting to kill him. You just want to kill him so damn much. Ah! So,
She's running away.
She runs away. Then she has a change of heart. Runs back. We hear a gunshot. Turns out they just killed some other random kid.
Whoops.
Totally okay.
Damn, it wasn't him.
No parents freaking out.
Yeah.
Everyone is fine. She notices a door closed. Oh, he must be behind there. Oh, there he is. Oh, wait. Vampire leader took him from a
Up!
sewer.
Spider-Man came and took her.
Like, I don't...
He ascended from some sort of pulley system.
Yeah. And they bring him to a church, or at least a cemetery. I don't really know. Inside the church, the remaining vampire henchmen, of which there probably should be none.
Well, yeah, this is the last of their species. Because really, the other ones were the last of their species, but we need more goons to fight.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, actually, this is outside. Yeah, the two henchmen. She fights first, and she literally beats them using their own hair.
Oh, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's up with these guys and their really long hair? And immediately, that's all she does. She whips the one guy down with his braid.
Yeah.
And then she grabs the
Takes
other
him
guy's
out.
dread and headbutts him from behind and
What?
rips it out of his head.
The first guy gets caught by the hair, and the other guy's like, I know, I'll swing my hair at her. It worked perfectly for the first one.
Uses.
So inside,
That was supposed to be
Oh.
such an epic fight. She had so many epic fights with humans. They're like, we're just as strong and fast as you. And it was 15 seconds, the fight? One move each? Bam, bam, they're down. They're dead.
That's
Incapacitated.
There are so many fights in this movie that happen where they set it up, and then the writer and director are like, how does she get out of this? I don't know.
Cut some.
Cut to somewhere else, and she's just out of it.
So, were they allergic to light?
No,
No.
that's not what vampires are. Hemophiles.
Because I thought they were talking about that at one point.
No.
They
she
were.
She
They
was walking.
definitely were.
She was walking around with like an umbrella while she
No.
was pregnant.
Definitely were.
No, that's
And
racist.
Now they aren't, which means it never happened.
those other
Yeah,
two guys
so-
were just standing out in the cemetery, no problem.
Dude, but they had sunglasses on.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
just
is that
it's
what
just
it is?
a-
Oh,
That's
no,
why
no,
her
no.
sunglasses are changing?
Only one of them had sunglasses on.
Oh, okay.
Like one guy did, and the other guy. All right, whatever. So, where is it? Inside, the main vampire has 6 dangling over a well.
And they're all in complete darkness because they don't like light.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, these ones do.
Some get the disease in one way,
Yeah.
others, like
There's all, there's warrior ants, there's worker ants. So they're all different ants for different
There-
abilities.
yeah,
all
there's-
different
there's-
vampires.
no, there's anti-light vampires, there's hair vampires. They're all over there. So, turns out 6 actually has the cure for humanism in his blood.
What
Oh.
is in this kid's blood? Because it
Dude.
changes every 15 minutes what it actually is.
Yeah, and I don't care why, but Daxus has just given us a great opportunity. So just walk away, V. Just walk away.
Just walk away.
Of course, that's exactly what I thought of. So, the leader drops the rope. Lets 6 drop into the fucking well.
So now, the leader of the vampires, he wanted the little boy because he had the anti-human
Yeah.
blood pathogen something, but he also doesn't want
No,
the child to live.
Dropped him in the well. The kid's gonna go into the water supply and disperse. That's what happened. Like the kid touches water and then he disperses into
it's
the
like
Oh,
water.
It's
the,
like a gremlin.
the whole city, possible world's water supply
Yeah,
was in the
is sourced from that well.
no, it was in the attic of the chapel.
The attic of the cemetery of the abandoned chapel.
Has a well that goes
Okay.
to the world's water supply.
Good.
Yeah.
It was that deep. I mean, it fell the entire fight scene. He was falling.
I did the math.
Well, What, for like velocity? And,
Yeah.
oh, please enlighten me.
What math did you do? Go ahead.
Well,
What-
I looked up how fast
the gravity is.
gravity and falling and blah blah blah, and how long the kid fell, and there's a little bit of slow motion there.
Yeah.
The kid fell at full speed for at least 30 seconds. He fell a minimum of a mile.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Turns out you free fall real quick. Man.
Once you catch that speed.
Huh, that's why you just liquefy, huh?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason. Oh, okay. I thought like the bodies were just made bad. Turns out it's all that speed.
Yeah. So fight happens or whatever.
Yeah, she kills like all 9 henchmen at once, and then more appear, and she kills all them at once.
No
and-
problem.
I like when they surround her and she just like at waist level like spins around her sword and like
Yeah.
guys' heads pop off.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't there was like a crouching tiger moment, wasn't there, where like they all try to stab her and
Oh,
she
she
just
jumped
jumps
on
up
their
on
swords.
their swords and
Yeah.
ugh. So she makes super quick work of the leader. Like I thought this was gonna be like the big fight.
no.
she like she spits in his face, slaps him, and
Oh,
then stabs him through the chin.
No, that was a great spot. I love that.
Dude.
The guy went to spit in her face, and she stopped it with her hand
Yeah.
and slapped him in the face
Oh,
with his
that's
own
okay.
spit.
Ah, my own spit.
Ugh,
That was the best scene of the entire movie.
you made me bleed my own blood. Stabs him to the mouth, and then catches 6 rope just in time.
And then I
With
guess
super rope burn.
Yeah, and then pulls the kid up. It's
Sure.
a mile of rope,
Yeah,
so she's probably been
it's,
doing that a
you
while.
know, quite, a day and a half.
Vampire speed, though. Or hemoglobin speed.
Hemoglobin.
The Hemoglobetrotters.
The hemoglobin trotters.
Yeah, remember? She pulls them up and she.
And then when he got to the top, she pulled him out, and he was like wearing a funny hat, and he was like, "What the?" And then she put him back down, and he came back up again. And he was like dressed like a grandma, and he was like, "Oh my!" And he put him down again and pulled him back up. It was like a baby with a giant sucker. So outside, Violet worries over 6 dying, like heavily, like
Yeah.
really badly. Just straight up takes out her phone, calls Daxus, and just demands, take out whatever you put in the kid. But it turns out it's not just a kid, it's Daxus's clone. Number 6 to be precise.
Oh. 6 in a series of 8.
Is that what he said?
Yes, he did.
Oh, I didn't catch that at all.
I caught
So that means there's 2 more that you should probably also be worried about.
that. I was. Yeah, I was.
I guess I know what your sequel is.
Yeah.
Violet is like, I don't care, it's a kid. And Daxus said, well, your kid died.
Whoa.
So,
Before that happens, though, I don't know if she did it or he did it. I would assume he did.
Yeah.
But he took the controller of the 3D
Yeah.
call and just made his head really big.
Yeah.
So it was just his head in a giant room. Or his giant head in a room.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to kill you and everyone. And he's like, I got 700 guards, go for it. So they jump in the car and drive there, and 6 is like dying in the front seat. He's like, he's like laying on the seat. Like the part where you sit, that's where his head is. Like
Yeah.
he is definitely dying. And 6 goes, look, you can either watch me die or make me watch you die, Violet. And she's like, oh shit, I guess that is what's happening. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's not what's happening, but all right. Outside, what I'm just calling Globotech at this point, Violet watches the antidote. Oh, excuse me. Violet wants the antidote that he obviously made, that the Archduke obviously made
that was a great
for
conversation
him
right there.
and his man. Yeah.
She was like, I know you have an antidote. I'm like, I didn't make an antidote. You wouldn't make a poison without making an antidote for you and your minions to take. Ha! You figured it out. There is one. I was like, wow, that was easy.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Foiled.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
Dex is like, yeah, of course, capitalism, duh. 3 p.m. right here every day. They shoot her, but she's just a phone hologram.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Because she's standing there in front of the car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Dax, that's his name, Daxus,
Yeah.
is like slowly approaching her.
I know.
And there's an army of guards immediately behind him, and they all open fire.
Yeah.
And nobody accidentally
None.
shoots Daxus.
None. That was amazing.
There are guys immediately behind him, like, blah, 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 blah,
Definitely,
blah.
yeah. Definitely would have hit him. I was surprised that when he was like, I have 700 men, come and get me. And then he presented his 700
I was like,
men.
there they all are. Just take them
It's
out.
like,
Drop a bomb.
You should probably keep summoning it back. That's really
My
pushing your
favorite
luck
part
here.
was that he had 700 guards behind him, and he stood in front, and she showed up and walked up. I'm like, just take out a gun and shoot him.
Yeah,
That's
it.
it.
You win.
Why did you stand in front of your 700 guards that you were boasting about?
Do you understand what a guard is?
And then this is the part where I fucking just go, I don't know what's happening. I was confused before. Now I don't know
Yeah.
what is happening, which in the distance, we see Six and Violet, like where they are hiding. And Six goes, there's just too many, V.
No, but
There's too many.
It was like a point proven. He was like, see, there's
Yeah,
too many.
there's just
I was
too
like,
many.
was the hologram supposed to
See?
prove that the hologram could get past 700 men?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't understand why
Like-
she was like, see.
Shouldn't the hologram have been going on? And then, they're like, ha ha ha, sneaking behind the guards. Like, I've seen cartoons. This is exactly how it works.
And then we just kind of
Fade
fade
to black.
to, I think, white, actually.
Did you say
But
his
whatever,
master plan? Did he reveal his master plan of capitalism?
Yeah, I just yelled, yay, capitalism. I think
Yeah.
we all get that.
Oh, okay, yeah. They killed all the vampires, and now he needs to make money.
Oh, no,
So-
we did gloss over that.
Yeah.
The part where he just... Did he say that here, or does he say that later?
I thought he said it outside of.
Or was that later at the end fight?
Yeah, it's the end fight.
Because he doesn't reveal
No,
who he is?
No, he
until-
doesn't reveal who he is. He just reveals his plan because.
Yes,
he
that's
did-
right.
I think
Yeah.
he was right outside.
So the
He
plan-
said
yeah.
they did their job too well. We killed all you vampires, and now there's nothing for us to do.
Yeah.
So
and I have
I'm
a
going
job.
to
I
poison.
need a
So
job.
I'm making the poison for humans on purpose.
Yes.
So they all get poisoned, and then they have to come to me for the
Yeah.
cure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Yeah, so I can make money in this crazy world.
Yeah, so that's what he's doing. So
Yeah,
anyway,
'cause-
yeah.
Oh, because he said there's no enemy, so everyone's just gonna go to chaos. If there's no,
There
there's
has
no
to be
control.
order.
Yeah.
Because we're not anarchists.
Yeah, it's crazy. Why, we're not just gonna all get along. We gotta have somebody to get mad at.
Which is exactly what happened at Eon Flux at the end, where they were like, well, we're not just going to fucking be anarchists. We'll just go, any random rule is better than none. Yeah, too many. There's just too many, V. There's just too many.
All right.
There's just too many.
So plan B then.
There's just too many.
Let's go to the playground.
Fade
No,
to
oh,
white.
that's the best way though. That they fade to it, and then
Yeah.
it fades back in with like a. I feel like the
It's a
filter.
dream.
The filter was kind of glowy.
like sepia
and
almost.
it wasn't
Yeah.
kind of focused in all the way.
And they don't. What they do is like they kind of like slowly let the color in, so you realize that the piece of paper you're looking at isn't like garbage. It's the ad from earlier. Oh, and Six and Violet are playing in the playground.
And they're
Yay!
spinning on the merry-go-round. It's like,
Yeah.
people, let me tell you about my bed. Like spinning in circles,
Yeah.
looking at one another.
Yeah.
And
then
I'm like,
Six-
oh wow, happy ending for some reason.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Six just goes, yeah.
Oh, his time is
And
done.
he just dies. Just falls off the go around and dies.
Except she's got super vampire strength pushing that go round. So that thing's got to be going so fast.
Dude.
That kid should have fallen off and gone dun 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 dun. dun.
It was soft grass.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
soft grass. It's grass and then foam.
One of them new playgrounds.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the future.
So the government arrives and
Oh,
just
it's not a dream.
takes Six's body and shoots Violet dead and leaves.
Was this expected? She's holding the kid, and he's like, "What's that noise?" And she knows what it is. She's like, "It's just the wind."
It's just the wind.
I'm like, did she call them to like? He's dying here.
I don't
They
know.
just showed up. Like, we found him.
The problem is they did their whole showdown with the hologram thing, and then they just went to the playground next
Right.
next to the government building.
Oh, the hologram. Oh, they're right over there.
They're on the bank.
Oh, yeah, see, they're right across the street.
We go to Garth, and he's like, "Oh, after 4 hours of surgery, I saved you." And she's like, "Why? Just to bring me back, just for pain?" And he's like, "But isn't it obvious why I did it?" Cut to later.
Hard cut.
Hard cut. Yeah, later, out in a different place in a different time.
Okay, so you're telling me the government killed their worst enemy?
Yeah.
And we're like, well, job well done. Just leave the body there.
Well, he said something. He was like, "We intercepted."
Send for the
Yeah.
incineration team or whatever.
Yeah, they
Oh,
intercepted
okay.
her there. Or
but
something.
at the same time, dude, we just threw some in the ocean. So
Yeah, that's
like,
there could have been Al-Qaeda boat just hanging out underneath.
Like,
Got him.
yeah.
Waiting there with their arms open.
Right? That's a movie or something like that. I saw that once where the guy like falls off the boat and like he's dead. He's got to be dead. He didn't come up and he's been there for hours. But really, there's just a scuba team under there letting him breathe, and they leave when the army gets gone.
Maybe was that Three Ninjas, the third one?
That's got to be what it is.
Yeah.
Out of all cinematic history, yeah.
I think that was it.
Three Ninjas High Noon Omega Mountain. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Hulk
was
Hogan's the one who gets shot and falls off the boat.
Yeah. So anyway, Violet is. Garth's like, oh, why won't you let anyone in, Violet? And she's like, because as nice as these moments are, they're evil when they're gone. I'm like, true that, girl.
I was like, wow, that's
I'm
good.
like, that's the realest moment of this goddamn film. You could have just shown that scene, and that would have been Oscar. Oscar. More later, Violet is in a hotel room of some sort or something, and she's definitely gonna kill herself.
She has a gun. She's laying down in darkness.
But Garth calls her, and he's like, "You're on the news. People saw what happened. There's hope. I'm almost positive we have a cure. Like, we gotta have it. Just give me time."
I didn't understand any of that. Why is she on the news, and what is there hope for?
I don't know, dude.
Who was filming that? Why are they broadcasting it? Isn't this all top secret government information that the government would then immediately confiscate and execute the news reporters?
Yeah, why is there news?
Yeah. Also, like, what is the news? Like, news at 11, there was a woman and a kid in the park, and then the government came and shot them both, and, oh, here they come. They're coming for us now, and...
Yeah.
So, what, he says there's still hope and I can make a cure or something?
Yeah,
What did he
I
say?
know I have the cure. I just need more time.
And she's like, I'm gonna be there. He's not dead.
Yeah.
And I was like,
All of a sudden, yeah.
but weren't
she,
you
like,
all sad because he was dead?
Yeah, like
What?
she sees him on the news and goes, "All right, there was good times too." And like
They aren't so evil.
yeah.
She sees him on the news. She's like, "Oh my God, he's alive!" No, that's a news clip from earlier.
Oh my God, I'm alive! I'm on the news.
There's two of me. This is crazy.
So yeah.
Also, when they brought her back, she had fangs all of a sudden.
Yeah, because she hasn't been taking her human like suppressant thing or whatever it is.
So it just suppresses her fangs, not her super speed and.
I guess.
Based on the rules of the Santa Claus, she fell asleep and woke up, and everything came back.
Gotta stop having those fights the night before Christmas.
Goodness.
So they meet up, and Garth is like, "I know I can make a cure. I just need more time," which he already said. Except this time, Violet's like, "Oh, Garth," and just kind of rubs his chin and leaves. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
We go to the anti-ministry, and Daxus is going to harvest 6 for his cells to save time on the next experiment. Violet guns and swords her way in. Daxus is notified. She fights in guns and swords. Oh, excuse me. She fights with guns that have swords in them. And she loses 2 fingers and then guns and fights more.
What I don't understand is, as she's showing up, they're about to do the experiment. They have a giant buzzsaw, which is larger than the kid's head.
Yeah.
It's just very close to the kid's head, because that's how they harvest everything.
Definitely what they use to cut down redwoods. Like, yeah.
It was the jaws of life.
Yeah.
Right? It was...
Exactly.
She shows up, and they're like, "Doctors, you have to stop." And then she fights her way all the way up there,
Yeah.
and those doctors are gone. So I can only assume he went, "Doctors, you have to go fight her off from getting into this room, because you're the only ones left." I don't know why they had to leave and stop, but they did.
Union break.
Yeah.
It's weird that, we live in this dictatorship, but there's no unions. That's how the news is around. I'll tell you that right now.
Good unions.
News unions. So we go to, like, Daxus's chambers? Office? Whatever. It's like a giant glass dome.
The giant glass dome.
His angry chamber.
Yeah,
What is
it's
that?
the angry dome.
Yeah, the angry. And he pulls out a flamethrower gun, but Violet throws her blood at the igniter and puts out the flame, so it just shoots out the goo. because when she was fighting, she got so angry, she just started grabbing swords by the blades and stabbing people, just like an UltraViolet.
Yeah.
But then after that, she did one of my other favorite things in this film was she just took her Uzi, fired it off of the ground for a while, so it got real hot, and then put it right on her wound, so it just like soldered it, cauterized it.
That definitely.
And then she came into that room and it was still bleeding.
Yeah, of course. From the other hand.
Yeah. She only cauterized one hand.
Oh, okay.
It was from the palms, because she cut her hand on the palms.
She started bleeding and then turned her white suit into blood.
Yeah,
so no one could see her.
And
bleeding.
absolutely nobody was like, "Aha!" Periods.
It just spread.
I want that technology, so when I inevitably spill food on myself,
It just all changes to that color.
everything just changes the color, whatever I spilled on me.
Of course, all my meals consist of one color now, but
Yeah.
what do you have for dinner? Well, carrots and sweet potatoes and sherbet.
Oh, an orange juice.
And orange juice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
orange
it's
juice.
okay. It's fine.
It's disgusting.
I'm gonna die.
This color-based diet.
This is not. Oh boy. Tomorrow's blue. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. So, Daxus
Just the berries.
gets
He's
some on
thinking,
his face.
just the berries.
Yeah, but they're kind of purplish too, so I don't even know how to handle that. Only like just juice and frozen ice. That's all. Just
Candy.
artificial blue.
Oh, this is great. I should get to eat blue candy all the time. Oh my god, I got diabetes.
Yeah.
I think there's blue halibut, but I think even that is white.
There's no way the actual, like, when you cut open a blue halibut, all the meat is blue. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I think it is.
Really?
Yeah, they dye a lot of our salmon pink for us.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Just so you know.
Just so you know, yeah.
I don't
Watch
eat
out for
salmon.
that shit. No, you just don't. No,
Mm-mm.
not a fisher.
Nuh-uh.
No. Well,
I'm a big fan of sushi, so I eat the worst fish or the best.
Hmm.
It's all raw.
okay. Anyway, back to this movie, I guess.
Oh no.
Daxus gets some blood on his face and decides that it's time to sword fight
Oh.
with no gloves on, declaring it is on.
She threw blood in his face. I'm like, this guy is super germaphobe. He's about to flip. And
No.
he took his gloves off calmly.
Yeah, and he's like,
And
"All
he was
right,
like,
let's fight.
Indeed,
Yeah.
it is on.
Now it is time for the final battle.
Fight commence. They fight for a bit, and then Daxus says, "Oh, but I never fight fair," and turns the dome dark, and he reveals that he was the scientist who got the original virus out to everybody.
He's a not vampire too.
Yeah,
The hemoglobin
but
goblin.
he's the ultra not vampire.
He's the leader of the Globetrotters.
Wait a minute. If he's the king hemophage,
Dracula.
yeah. If
Yeah.
he's Dracula,
Yeah.
how is he the vice cardinal?
I don't know.
Like,
Why isn't he the whatever arch? I know. Why is he an archduke? Why is he the duke?
Yeah.
Why is he a vice? Yeah, vice cardinal was it? Should just be cardinal. Why should you just be pope?
yeah, right.
Pope Ferdinand Daxus.
Pope Dracula.
Pope Dracula
Okay.
with Frosty syndrome.
He was the original scientist. Violet lights her sword on fire from the flame gun gel stuff earlier, and then they fight by sword light. Dude, how bad was the sword fight that they had to edit this way?
I couldn't tell what was
Dude.
going on.
Yeah.
It was just moving flames.
I went and found the highest quality footage I could, and it was really fucking hard to know what was going on.
I had
Like
pretty
you
good quality and
you
it was
couldn't
bad.
see anything. But you could see was in the first few shots when they clanged swords, the gel flew off the swords
yeah.
and hit the guy, and I was like, oh, that's why this is cut this way. Because every time someone got lit on fire,
Yikes.
every swing you got napalm in the face.
I want to see the raw footage where it's clang. Ah! Cut.
Clang, fire extinguishers. Clang, fire extinguishers.
Yeah, you can't really see a lot, but
That's
Violet
why it's all
uses-
in dark.
Yeah,
So you can't see them covered with the fire extinguishers.
she suddenly uses
And the burnt to bits of wardrobe they have.
yeah. She uses the flame gun. I don't know how she found it, but she did. She picked up the flame gun off the floor and shoots the gel stuff at Daxus' sword and sets him on fire and then splits him down the middle in two.
But it's
dead.
still all in
He's
the
dead.
dark, so we don't really see.
No, it's just shadows.
Yeah.
It's all shadows. We go to the roof, and Violet brings Six to the roof via rising platform, and it turns out he's alive because she cried into his eyes, and now he has AIDS. Oh, excuse me, vampirism.
Is that what happened? Because they didn't explain that, and I
No,
had to
they
assume.
Yeah.
They show.
They said, "Oh no, I cried," and it went into his tear
Tear
duct.
ducts, yeah.
So I wasn't sure if vampires had a weird. I can regenerate people and they can live, or if that's also how the virus was
No,
passed.
isn't that how it works in real life? Like, if I just cried in your eyes right now, you would get my AIDS? Like,
I don't think so.
I don't know if that's how it would work, yeah. Mucous membranes.
Does that do
touching
any-
other mucous membranes.
Does that do anything to the cure inside of him? Now that he's a vampire,
Right? Like, shouldn't... Wait a minute! He's a human! Shouldn't he just be dead? If his blood has something that stops people from being humans, shouldn't he just already be like?
well, that's why he was
it
dying in the
takes-
first place.
Oh, so
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
8-hour virus.
Yeah.
And he was gonna
And
die.
he's gonna die.
But-
which
but-
would
They still needed to harness it from him, which is why they needed to take what was left of him and put him in another body, so they can learn how to take it from that body.
because when people die, all their cells stay alive inside them.
If you put it on ice quick enough.
But he died in a field.
Yeah, but that you saw they put like the fire extinguisher stuff. He was covered in like that
yeah,
white
okay.
like
All right.
CO2 cold stuff.
But he has so much brain damage.
I just don't understand how they can put something in a child and then they don't know, or they can't administer it to someone. Why is it in the child to begin with?
Yeah, I don't. Where was
And then
it going?
they needed the child because they needed to get the stuff out of him
Could they have
to
just
kill all the humans.
taken his blood? Like, you have the child. You open the box, you take his blood, you close the box. like, you open the refrigerator. There's the kid. We draw some of the blood. All right, great.
Yeah.
Close it so the kid doesn't spoil.
Like, I don't even know where they went. As far as I'm concerned, they had a laboratory where they developed this disease or whatever in the kid.
Mhm.
They put him in flat space technology, had him delivered to this same building they're in right now. and fucking, I don't understand.
No, that's not where he started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
No.
It had to have been. It had to have been because the Archduke is always in front of the same building.
Oh no, actually,
I don't know if it was.
because at the end they're driving in the box truck, which is way too large. Like, the inside is way too large to fit in that box truck that's driving up to like
well, he's
the
got
super
those
headquarters.
interdimensional portal walls that he
Yeah.
opens up.
So they're driving and
I don't remember any of what you're
Oh,
talking about right now.
You
And
just
the-
had to see
the
it.
king astronaut from Armageddon is like, you can't break in there. That's why we were supposed to intercept the package before you went in there, even though I wasn't involved with that plan, remember? like, remember
Yeah,
that
so
plan?
he's a vampire too, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you see his teeth.
He's
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
important vampire research.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the lead vampire scientist.
He's like Bill Nye the Vampire Guy.
Who's also good at surgery. He's a doctor and everything.
Well, yeah, that's how it works. Once you become a doctor, you're a doctor at everything.
Like I said, Bill Nye the Vampire Guy.
Yeah.
He's a scientist at everything, even though he only specialized in like
Yeah, even though he has like a
Astrophysics.
bachelor's in engineering.
Yeah, he fucking.
I would hope that
astrophysics.
happens in large crowds where someone's hurt. I'm like, is there a doctor here? And there's a doctor in astrophysics. I'm a doctor. Like, can you help? Oh, no, that kind of doctor. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I am a doctor.
I just have an honorary doctorate in music. I'm sorry.
Here's my card.
I would just love to be like, oh yeah, I'm a doctor, oh, help this guy? Oh well, I never. Oh well, how dare you? So did we end the film? I'm not even sure.
No.
Kid's dead.
He's still
Oh,
alive because she cried
she
into his
cried
tear
at him.
ducts.
Yeah, she's dying, and Six is like, but there's a cure, and she's like, I know, we have it. Let's go home.
No, she's like, I found it.
Yeah, oh, I found it.
And then
yeah.
the kid smiles.
What's the cure?
whatever Garth has,
Then why do we need to save the kid?
because she likes him.
Ah, all right. Well,
She's like a
'Cause
human
they're gonna
again.
repopulate the earth with him.
that's gross.
When he's old
Also,
enough.
he has the anti-human virus in him, so
You really should.
really, we should kill him.
Well, whatever.
Nothing's making sense.
We fade out, and Violet voiceovers. Hope is still alive in my world, and maybe Garth can fix my body and my heart, but maybe not. I don't know. And anyone who spreads injustice and hatred better watch out.
Hope for what? I don't know.
Does she want to become a human again? Because earlier she told us she really hates humans.
I think when she says "in my world," she means "in my life." I think that, like, if I say that, does it make you less angry? Because it doesn't for me. All right. Could you make a sequel? What even happened in this movie I just watched?
Yeah.
Like, my sequel is, let's see, she killed the presumed leader of the government, so the government collapses. Everyone is human because Garth made a cure. And then, so what? Like pocket hemophage resistance? New vampire disease? End. Your turn. That's all I got.
So, I mean, this guy was the vice cardinal, so obviously, in the sequel, it's gotta be, like, the actual cardinal, or if there's a pope above him. Like, whoever the leader of Svenborgia is, like, that's gotta be the big bad.
Oh.
And then clearly the plot of that movie is humans and vampires have learned to coexist and like, oh, look, we can all get along and be happy and it's great. But then, false flag, you make it look like the vampires did some act of terrorism and turn the humans and then it's, you gotta prove them innocent. And...
Sure, why not? What do you guys got?
I don't have anything.
Good.
All I'm going to say is I'd write the same movie with a little more like Aeon Flux.
Whoa, what?
There's apparently 2 more clones, so he just put all his knowledge into one of the other clones, and he grew up to be him as well, but he's embracing the vampires now, and he's trying to make an uprising with vampires, so he's just doing the exact opposite. Mia Jovovich, she died, and the kid is now a vampire trained to do all the stuff that she did.
Okay, but aren't we down to like 12 vampires?
Yeah.
13 because of that clone that I'm introducing.
I'll lead a vampire uprising. Me and these 13 fellas back here.
Work for Jesus.
Super fast, fellows. Oh. We went there.
I did. So why would you make this? We mentioned some of it already, which is against the wishes of writer and director Kurt Wimmer. The film was completely re-edited by the studios when they felt the original version was too emotional and had a lack of emphasis on action, also to get a PG-13 rating. The film went from 120 minutes to 88 minutes.
Definitely saw the 88-minute version.
Yeah. The director was angry about the addition, and fans agreed that it lowered the quality of the film significantly. An extended version of the film was released with 6 additional minutes, making it 94 minutes. But we talked about that. It didn't make it didn't do that. And just in case for whatever reason you don't think that Kurt Wimmer is an insane man, he states that this film was directed in such a way that it allows for an alternate theory about the story in which the character of Six is actually Violet from the future.
Shut up.
Who came back after a cure of the hemophage was developed, and this explains how Six has the cure but nobody else does, and why Violet feels the need to protect the kid because even though she doesn't know it's her, she can still feel it.
What I hated was...
I'm gonna spit in your hand so you can slap me. Like,
what I hated was she gave a whole backstory that she was pregnant and she lost the child and all that happened, and they revealed that, oh, there's a child in here. 12 years later after that happened, I'm like, oh, that's her child. And nope, red herring. Just, she lost her child. Just ignore that. Never gonna come up again. I was very upset at that. And another thing.
Okay.
The opening sequence, it was all like, oh, UltraViolet, the comics. And I was like, oh, you remember all these covers of the comic of UltraViolet? Does that make you feel nostalgic? I was like, let me go see these comics.
Don't exist?
No.
It's not a real comic.
No.
Yeah.
Never was.
It was
Never.
written by the director for this movie.
He thought it was just a nice way to start it and thought it looked cool.
That looked
cool.
I've always wanted to do a comic book movie. I'll pretend this is one.
I'll just pretend there isn't. You never heard of that comic, Ultraviolet? I'm making a movie about it.
Yeah, I'm making a movie about it. What do you mean?
It got an anime afterwards, and I want to say
They made
either
a comic for it.
Oh,
They made
okay.
it. It was after the movie came
A
out.
comic or a graphic novel? It was a comic.
I think it was a comic
Okay.
made for the movie. It was like
Yeah.
only on the internet, maybe. Internet comic.
It was not good.
No.
All right, so join us next time along with Randy Santoni, Brigitte Nielsen, and Sylvester Stallone for the 1986 action film Cobra.
I've never in my life heard that before.
I'm not even joking. I think that's the first Sylvester Stallone movie I've ever seen.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that was the
Really?
first one. Because this is like way back. Like when we first got like one of the, we couldn't afford no HBO or anything, but we got like Stars and Encore.
Sure.
That was like one of the movies that they played on like those, the B-level movie channels. And it's Sylvester Stallone and he's Cobra and he's just like he wears leather jacket and puts on sunglasses and has a machine gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Stallone movie, okay.
Yeah.
And he's got to like protect Brigitte Nielsen, the model from.
I am the dog.
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, to be fair, it's 80s Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah.
So really, it's the Alphabet Killer from Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was,
Yeah.
yeah. Beverly Hills Cop too.
Yeah. So, what do you got? Victor Pro Wrestling?
Victory Pro Wrestling returns live to Century Long Island, New York, April 28th. Holy shit, I remember the date.
That's pretty
I
impressive.
don't know what's going on. I'm going to be there. Who knows who I'm wrestling.
Yeah.
But I'm going to defend my title. Maybe. Probably. I don't know.
They should.
And then, I guess other stuff's going to happen. I don't think we have any, ex-WWE guys again. But
Not yet, anyway. But yeah.
last time we had Hurricane.
Ooh.
You could have saw that if you came.
Yeah, you could have.
Shame on you for not.
Also, you can follow me at DJ Delta on the Twitter first.
Sweet. Don't talk to Skylar on the internet.
Don't do it.
Ever.
Yeah. Please go to www.ymt.com for all things Why Would You Make This? Again, that is www.ymt.com. You can download or listen to episodes of this show if you do not like using Google Play or iTunes. You can also find a link to our YouTube where we have things that are technically not related to the show.
That's okay.
Whatever.
Maybe we'll have something about Austin.
Oh, I was like, the wrestler?
Well, maybe.
Maybe. Whatever. So yeah, the intro music is Falling for Your Love by Kill Paris. I wanted to try to sing, the Ultraviolet song, we make our own song.
What was it again?
No, like,
I don't know how it goes.
remember how we just make our own song?
Oh,
Yeah.
Ultraviolet. That's not how it went, though. That doesn't fit the theme.
No.
First my hair is violet, then it turns black. Da-na-na-na. That's all I got.
Gonna go do a thing. Nah, never mind. I feel the opposite of that.
Am I a vampire or do I just have
Low self-esteem. Oh, because I'm ultraviolet, yeah.
Not Eon Flux.
Not even, but
Yeah.
no, I'm kind of that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, but...
Oh, yeah. All right, so for Skylar and J Delta, I am Jimmy Time, and please remember that without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts.
The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.